We begin at Copper Falls State Park and their two-way mountain bike trails. The 2.4 Tettegouche Trail with scenic views on the Bad River and the 2-mile Vatera Trail through the hardwood forest. Right now, after the recent rain, the trails are listed in fair condition, so don't forget a state park sticker or day pass is still required to visit. Up the North Shore at Tettegouche State Park, the last update on those trails there show muddy conditions and more shaded spots, and the campsite's also pretty muddy. Also a reminder that the High Falls Bridge is closed due to flood damage there, and due to the replacement project, the trailhead parking lot, the group campsites, and nature play area will be closed much of our summer. Superior Hiking Trail through hikers will have to detour down toward the ranger station in order to cross the river on the Park Road Bridge. And finally, off the beaten path, we end in Cohasset, where the Walk and Roll to School Day is coming up next Wednesday. The Cohasset Parks and Rec Department invite kids and adults to join the worldwide celebration on the benefits of walking and biking. They say it's a good way to encourage physical activity while learning safe pedestrian and bicycling skills. So if you want to get involved, you can contact Ann Campbell at the email you have on your screen there. We'll also have it at northernnewsnow.com. And as always, if you or someone you know is part of a local trail club or alliance, you can always send us a report to trail at northernnewsnow.com. And we'd love to feature your area as we take you around the Northland on Friday, Trail by Trail.